So first, let's talk about the nuisance issues that Netta's gigantic adult use has created. It's really why we're here. It's what these people behind me are here for. So many people are complaining. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen in 14 years of working on issues like this in the town of Brookline.
Public urination, blocking of the driveway, parking in our parking space. Oftentimes, Netta customers being very aggressive when you tell them to move their cars.
Suffice it to say, I feel notably less comfortable at home and at work, and I'm completely aggravated by the weed trash, the weed smoke, the endless cars of stoned boys parking in front of my house, getting out there to relieve themselves wherever they like.
I have personally witnessed a significant increase in loitering, littering, and panhandling. In addition, I have seen things that I never saw in my 16 years before. Public urination, public consumption of marijuana, and sales of marijuana on the street.
To summarize, since Netta's opening in March, I have witnessed multiple incidents of trespassing on my property, public urination, illegal parking that blocks driveways, and aggression from Uber drivers and customers of Netta.
People constantly come over and sit on her porch.
They're idling here. They're consuming product right in front of my house. That's going to cause an unsafe environment for me and my family, something I'm not going to do.
I was groped by a man carrying a Netta bag who walked very close to me and then ran away when I shouted. At the time I was groped, I approached 2 police officers to complain, but they were very busy with traffic control and indicated they could not speak to me.
But we had a man literally threaten to come back and get my girlfriend later. This was at 9:30, 9:45 at night. And I'm also going to make a point to say that most of the terrible encounters that we've had with people have been in the later hours of the evening.
You know, the worst thing was having someone threaten me with sexual assault. That did mess with my head for several days afterwards. Beyond that, I have been pushed and I've been shoved, and I'm glad I haven't really been assaulted to the point where the police need to be stepped in, because that would be very scary for me. And I've also been followed to my doorstep now multiple times by people trying to hit on me and then trying to get into my house with me.
I don't feel safe walking home alone in the evenings in Brookline Village. Before Netta, I would walk alone and I'd feel safe. I don't feel safe because I see people smoking on a daily basis, and I've seen people urinating on the street.
I observed 2 adults reselling to minors. They looked to be in high school. I was solicited to buy pot 3 times. I was spit on when I refused.
One of the most offensive of these illegal incidents was when my 9-year-old daughter watched a man pee against Liz Linder's building from our living room in the middle of the afternoon. And I know the police just said that this was not a Netta customer. I watched him, I had my daughter identify him, and I saw him go back to stand in front of Netta.
I saw 1 instance of public urination.
And whether I'm riding a bike or walking back from the tee, about twice a week I'll be behind someone who's openly consuming and smoking marijuana walking down our street.
I regularly witness public consumption of marijuana.
I observed at least a dozen people smoking pot on the streets and in nearby parks, particularly Emerson Gardens.
And as I was coming to this meeting today, there were 2 men with a joint sharing it in front of my door. And I actually smelled the marijuana.
Literally countless incidents of cars idling on my street alone, on Walnut Street alone, for 30, 45, 50 minutes. The situation is that 1 person or more stays in the car, 1 or more people go to get a product, come back, then they look at it, they open it, sometimes they smoke it, and then they go on their way.
Every time that I'm there, there's always a car idling.
Not just Uber drivers, but cars are picking up people right there at the corner. They're stopping in the crosswalk.
I ride my bike to work in Cambridge, and every time I have to go through the Brookline Village intersection since they opened, it's jammed with cars that are double parked, that are there because they're doing ride shares, that are affiliated, and you can tell, picking up Netta customers.
People constantly parking in driveways, in my driveway, and it's a 2-lane driveway, and they will park blocking it so that you can't get around either side.
Particularly on Washington Street, with people idling their cars on sidewalks, Uber drivers on sidewalks, and because we've asked them and they were waiting for people at Netta. and also people blocking the entrance into White Place, which I think is particularly dangerous, both for pedestrians trying to cross over White Place and also for cars trying to turn.
There are plenty of times that I get home from my workday and I just want to pull in my driveway and go home, and I can't because there's somebody in my driveway or blocking my driveway, and so I literally have to put my hazards on, and now I'm one of the people that are blocking Route 9.
Numerous incidents of illegal parking on Walnut Street alone, and this includes parking in the actual lane, not in a parking spot. It's a narrow street, and cars are trying to pass one another. So I saw.
And I have to get out of my car while my car is in Route 9, and I go up to their window and I say, hey, listen, you got to move so that I can get in my driveway. And the overwhelming attitude from people has either ranged from get over it to people literally getting out of their car threatening to fight me.
Where I dined that evening, the owner said to me that she has to kick out inebriated folks, and families do not want to eat in her restaurant as much as they used to, and she's lost revenue.
But I'll just talk about the parking, which is our main issue, the loss of parking on Route 9 that is used for the Uber and Lyft drivers. We're seeing an increase of tickets, but we're seeing 2-hour parking tickets, and I'm pretty sure the Neta customers aren't spending 2 hours there. So you're really hurting our employees, our customers, and our business. So I would just like to.
We live on this street 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've lived there for 14 years. I've never seen this stuff before. Now, after 7 months, it's regular occurrences.